All right, and we are live. Welcome back to BRAP. We give you the woo. We got a great show planned for everyone. We got a lot to talk about. A lot of industry rumors going around about a big acquisition for Microsoft. Maybe Sony and something with Remedy. Maybe Alan Wake coming back to PlayStation. Maybe, who knows? I think that's fake news, but we'll see. And then, of course, we have the reviews for the medium that are out. This is the Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, Xbox 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8 consoles. First next generation or current generation game. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And yeah, so that's what we have planned for tonight. On that, and then we got two returning guests. We got Optimus Code and Jay Barry. But let's go ahead and start the show, officially kick off the show right now. All right, welcome back to greatness, and I don't mean PlayStation, I mean BRAP. We got a great show again in store for everyone. Big shout out to everyone in the live chat who is here tonight, and really appreciate you guys coming out to support us. So on that note, want to introduce our guests this evening, our two guests. We got Jay Barry in the house. Jay, what is going on, man? Welcome back to BRAP.
Yo, what is good, guys, man? Jay Barry here. I'm here to talk
Greatness.
about this velocity architecture.
Oh, oh listen, my God. You all are messy.
Hit the like button. Share the stream out. It's going to be one for the ages, man. Trust me. It's going to be a goodie.
Yes.
Let's get it, man.
Yes. And by the way, I am your host, BRAP, a.k.a. I Got the Tools. We also got returning guest Optimus Code. Code, welcome back to BRAP, sir.
What's happening, man? How's everybody doing?
We're doing well, man. You know, just enjoying these video games. You know, lots of video games to play right now. So, yeah, man, great topics tonight, man. You excited to get into these topics?
Absolutely, I am. But Enrique, if I like using a controller takes two hands, how do you eat tacos and play games at the same time? How do you do it?
It's very easy. Very easy.
All right.
I have my kids hold the tacos while I eat it.
There you go. He got the tools right there.
I got it. Yeah, I got the tools. See there? I got the
tools. he holds the controller with his feet. That's how he does it.
Wow. Oh my God. And on that note, we got the man who's in 900p resolution right now. Slow back slap at 900p. What is going on, Slow?
Yeah, I know you guys can't see me well, but I know you can hear me. So how's it going, fellas? I'm so glad to have Jay Barry and Code here one more time. We're going to have a great show tonight. And look, it's just jokes, people. Like, don't get too upset. It's just jokes every now and then. You know, if you weren't so sensitive, you know, if your booty hole wasn't so torn up, you know, you wouldn't be this you know, upset about things. It's not that big a deal, but you know, just have fun, okay?
But you know what, Slow-Mo? I got a 6-year-old. I care about her feelings, not the feelings of grown ass men.
Exactly.
Talk about
if you're a grown man and you upset over something about video games. Oh man, you need some therapy. You need to talk to someone. You need to get on that couch, you know, and just get your feelings out. Who hurt you?
Show me on the doll where he touched you.
Exactly.
Show me on the controller where they touched you.
Oh my God. He told me I was strong with the force. And then he gave me a wine cooler. Do you guys remember that? Dave Chappelle with Darth Vader?
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. He told me I was strong with the force. Oh my God. All right. I love the. By the way, we're missing Forte. I think Forte's catched all his GameStop stock out.
I got some smoke for Forte, by the way. So like he need to.
Why
get
do you have
his,
smoke for Forte? Is that why he's not here? Is he dodging you?
He might be dodging me. He know why I got
some stuff with his house.
Maybe he might be using that as an excuse to duck and dodge, but he can't duck me tomorrow because tomorrow is BPS. He gonna get all these bullets.
Oh my goodness! All right, and on that note, we got my man B Money 101. What's up, B?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Man, just happy to be here, man. It's hump day. We're almost done with the work week, man, which means we all get to, well, at least I get to focus on some time gaming this weekend. But but yeah, B, I know you're going to be playing some NBA this weekend, I think, right?
I actually haven't played 2K in a while, man. I've been, busy doing other things and buying stock and trying to these crazy on in the world. Haven't been much, but this weekend, hopefully, finish up some Ghost and a couple other things.
Good.
Yeah,
Ghost is so good.
We gotta get up on Ghost, man.
Yeah, we gotta get back on.
whenever y'all ready, man.
Yeah,
I've been playing a little solo. Playing with randoms is
It's interesting. It's interesting.
Enrique, don't believe that. This is all secret code language they talking. They've been playing every night. They just want to make sure you don't show up. Just playing all this stuff to trick you, sir.
But the next time Enrique played with us, he's like, "You guys are 3 times the level you were we played last time." How did that happen? I don't even know, bro. They must have had like an XP booster.
Yeah,
or something,
you missed the triple XP boost weekend.
Go on and tell him he trash, B Money. Don't be scared of him, man.
Ain't nobody scared of him, man. I'm still waiting for him to buy the game, man. So
exactly.
I told you I'm coming, B, but there's other stuff to play right now.
You ducking, man.
No, you don't want that PlayStation fragrance, man. Go and spray that on you, Ben.
Where did that come from? Like, who got mad about that? I missed that whole thing.
Oh yeah, they got mad. Yo, these are terminologies I've been using for years. Code, man. Some people just seen it now on Twitter and they getting all butthurt. Oh, PlayStation fragrance. What a fanboy. No shit, Sherlock. Go and move on, man.
Right, move around. Yeah. I didn't even, because you was like, so people mad at PlayStation fragrance now? And I kept like looking for tweets. I'm like, where's the one that started it? And I couldn't find nothing.
No, because the whole pricing thing, Kofi made a tweet. I was like, nobody really want no price hike. But I said some of us just understand it, and especially if PlayStation gonna deliver that PlayStation fragrance, meaning like the quality of games.
I remember that. Yeah. I do remember
that's what started it.
But people. That was kind of like a joke kind of thing where people took that to like
people ran with it.
Yeah. Like fragrance. What the
Yeah, no doubt. And then we also got my man Eric Jackson, king of the influencers. This is going to be a messy podcast.
No. I remember, nobody actually ever dubbed Michael Jackson the king of pop. He kind of put that on himself, and people just started calling him the king of pop. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna take my shot. I'm gonna shoot my shot.
There you go. I like that.
As you should.
Yeah, it's like
because it seems like everybody, bows down and all hail the influencer. I need you to tell me, oh great influencer, how should I feel about this? So I'm gonna rock with it.
Reinforce my purchasing decisions, please.
Yes.
Make me feel good about the game that I bought.
Yes.
About the console I own.
Bless you, my child.
Give me hope, Father God.
Go forth and buy bullshit.
Yes.
Go forth and let the corporation tell you what to do and make you act stupid out here. You have my blessing as the king of influencers.
Oh my goodness. All right. Yeah, this show's gonna be fun. I already know. Ko, you should change your name to King of the Elderly. All right. So
wow, flash shot.
I'm sorry. All right.
Face to face, Code will whoop your ass.
Code, please. You take one step, tear his ACL.
I mean, on the strength, I don't fight no more. I just shoot and stab. I'm way
there you go.
I don't fight.
Way too old.
He said I shoot and stab. Jesus.
That's it. That's all I do these days. Way too old for that.
Too much work.
Man.
And Cole shoot from the hip like a cowboy too. Like,
Probably mad accurate too. Headshot.
nigga, your kneecap.
Code's probably surgical.
Like, take a little off the shoulder.
Yeah, walking around like Dante, boy, mad actor.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Here we go again.
Oh my goodness. Oh, all right. Let's go ahead with the topics tonight. I want to talk about the medium. This is, I guess, in the Xbox community, this is probably one of the most anticipated games because it's really the first exclusive, console exclusive for the Series X and Series S consoles. It's not cross-platform. It was specifically, as code says, designed for the next gen or current gen consoles in mind. And Microsoft, look, before I get into this, everyone just take a deep breath. If you like this game, it's okay. No one's saying you shouldn't like this game.
They don't know they like it. The game ain't even out yet, so nobody knows they like the game.
Well, people are already saying, "Oh, what do you mean? I can't like a 71 or 72 Metacritic." No one's saying that. We're not saying that. But what we are addressing is the issue that Microsoft still has with the Xbox Series X platform, in my opinion, and that is the fact that there isn't anything that says I need to go out and buy a Series X to play this game. They don't have it yet, and it's been 3 months since launch, and there's nothing. And this was the first true current gen game for this console, and it just the reviews are what they are. They probably an average game. There's some issues with performance of this game. This game's running. What is it, slow mo? Is it 900p? Is that why you have slow mo backslap in 900p?
Yeah, it has dynamic resolution on Xbox Series X and S, and the Digital Foundry did a video or dropped a video earlier today that showed that the dynamic resolution will vary from true 4K to 900p on the Series X, and on the Series S from 1080p down to 648 or.
Wait, I thought didn't they say the Series X eats monsters for breakfast?
Man, it looks like the monsters won this round. it ain't eating anything. In fact, it tried to eat it threw everything back up. I don't know what happened, but look.
The monster fought back.
Right.
No more locked doors.
900p at times and 30 frames per second, and other times when it's in the dual realities. You know how it's
also killing game. It's also killing PC GPUs, by the way. Slow mo. In fairness, this game's clearly not really optimized well.
And this is look. I don't even know why people are shocked. It's Bloober Team.
Okay,
Bloober Team is not. Name a game that they made that was oh man, that was such a game, didn't have a single issue, and it was an amazing game and all.
They're not sure. Don't nobody want to hear that slow mo. Don't nobody want to hear that at all. Microsoft is touting this game as the first true next gen game on the platform, and even though of the 3,000 Xbox users, 4 of them will like it. That has nothing to do with the majority of the gaming press thinking that the game is mid and expressing that opinion. And so I'm not looking for no excuses and why.
I'm not making no excuses. I'm saying, where are the facts?
But it's trash. That's the fact.
Not a good studio. And so if anyone out there actually heard all the cap from Microsoft about this game and thought it was going to be the end all be all, or hey, this is really going to be, give me the reason why I bought my Series X. You were boo boo the fool because you got tricked. Because
Slow-mo, can I ask you something though? So you're telling me that VRS, the velocity architecture, machine learning, shout out to my man Porter Rock, You're telling me that all that stuff, Team Bloober couldn't use all that stuff to make a fully nice performing game?
Well, apparently Bloober team can't even get motion matching working on the character model. So I mean,
yeah. So real quick, Slow-Mo, to your point about that, the motion matching, like,
yeah, they got some work to do on this.
Yeah, David Jaffe did a video about this, and he thought it was kind of peculiar that like the motion matching was off in this game, and he showed like an Unreal 4 demo that I think costs, what is it, like, I think you said $35 or whatever, like a tool or something, whatever.
Yeah,
that you can get. But my point is this,
because anyone can use Unreal Engine. Like any one of us can go download Unreal Engine right now for free.
Yeah. So here's
start working on a game.
This is Unreal.
Yeah, it's on Unreal.
It's on Unreal.
Wow.
So here's my thing. So I'm not, again, I just want, for those who are excited about, that's great. No one's saying you shouldn't be excited about it. If you enjoy it, that's awesome. It's great.
Yo, Enrique, why you always like pandering to these people, man? Yo,
well, no, I'm not.
Speak from the heart, baby. Speak from the heart.
Because you know what?
Say it again, J Bar. Taco Boy scared.
Because
he trying to be non-offensive so everybody will watch the show. Tell the truth, man.
Oh my God. So what I'm trying to say is this: is that like Code or you know, like Bari, and when Slow-Mo said, like, you know, Microsoft hyped this game, you know, because as the, you know, current, you know, Series X exclusive, and you know, they hyped this console 12 teraflops, and like Code, I really like when you say let the games do the talking, right? But the problem is they start doing the talking before they let the games do the talking. And then they get foot and mouth. And this is like a situation for me where this is like your first game for the Series X that's exclusive to that console, that's next gen only, or current gen, I should say now. It's not cross gen. Where was Microsoft to go out there and help Bloober Team with some of the resources or tools, if you will, to maybe add some more polish to this game?
Tooling,
you know, like Bloober Team is waving the flag for you, Microsoft. Impressions matter. First impressions matter. Like what? Like
they sure do.
Like, what are you doing here? We are month 3 into this console, and I know people are like, oh well, you gotta wait. They got Bethesda. Bethesda's a great acquisition. I'm not going to deny that. And there's some really talented people there. But this is 2021. This isn't 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025 yet. We're not there yet. But today, like I don't game it. I don't play video games in hope that a good game's going to come out 2 or 3 years from now. I want games today. And
man, let me jump in here. So obviously, anybody that buys a next generation console right at the start of that generation, so within the first 6 months, it's obvious that anybody that buys into a new console that early is buying into it for the promise of games to come here. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. All of us expect great games on the PS5. That's in the future. A lot of us expect great games on Xbox that's coming, that's in the future. And all of that is fine. The problem is it can't be only waiting for games to come in the future. As a gamer, you still need stuff to do right now while you're waiting. And the problem, as I see it, with Xbox is they haven't given me a compelling reason to upgrade, because all they have, they're just using the reason like a gen refresh. Right now, all it does is $500 to boost up old games, and like barely even do that. And so the whole point is you get games now and the promise of great games later. So we're waiting for them to start delivering games now while we wait. Like they were supposed to have the Ascent that was supposed to be out like really early, Medium. And like you said, okay, Microsoft themselves is hyping this game up. And I want to be very clear. I don't know if the Medium is any good or not. I have no idea. I've never played it. I haven't touched it. And when everybody's able to play it. For all we know, the game may actually be fabulous. But that's not what this is about. It isn't about if the game is actually really good or not. The problem is that so far, the game is not critically acclaimed. So what if everybody on Game Pass likes it? It's not critically acclaimed. And at this point, Microsoft hasn't delivered a critically acclaimed title to its fans. They haven't helped their second and party developers. They haven't helped people like that they're in partnership with. Like they are not delivering the goods, but they are still doing all of this talking.
And you know, Cole's absolutely correct. This also isn't the first time that there is a example of Microsoft not really helping studios that aren't officially under their umbrella, first party studios, and giving them support when they need it to kind of polish up a game that they are marketing, and a game that is technically an exclusive in some shape or form for them. Remember, before Undead Labs became a first party studio, they were a second party developer for them with the State of Decay 1 and 2. Now, with State of Decay 2, I don't know if you guys remember or not, there was a big discussion about why the co-op in State of Decay 2 had a tether to the host.
Yeah, to the other. Yeah, yep.
Yeah. And the studio came out and explained why they did that, is that they could not afford to have servers running for these dedicated servers running for these co-op instances. And so instead it's peer-to-peer, and it's running off of and close to the whoever is running the game. And they said, and when that was explained further, when people asked like, well, why was this decision made? They said they made that decision very early, and that they chose that decision because in case, say, Undead Labs isn't around in 5 or 6 years, someone can still play their game, boot it up, and it work, because they wouldn't be able, if they're not around, they're not able to actually support.
But that's love. That's them looking out for gamers. But they got the lie that Xbox Live told, because Xbox Live, the whole reason we were paying for it is because Microsoft is supposed to host all these servers in case the company goes away.
Exactly. And so I have no problem with Undead Labs making that decision. They did that for gamers, like as you said, to make sure that someone in 2028, if they want to play State of Decay 2, they can do so. But why, if you already know this game is going to be exclusive to your platform, do you not give them the resources to Azure the same way in the same year that Sea of Thieves came out? Rare has this access. How come Undead Labs doesn't? You go across the aisle to your competition. Your competition lets Supermassive Games use Decima Engine for Until Dawn.
Yep.
They're not a first party studio. They let Kojima Productions use Decima Engine for Death Stranding. They're not a first party studio. They're allowing developers that they don't even own to use proprietary game engine that they have. Why can't you just reach out and actually help these developers that are making exclusive content for you? There's a huge, in my opinion, and I know just my opinion, I don't know the details in this. I'm not in a boardroom. I just feel there's a lack of care being placed from Xbox leadership and producers to the developers, that they give them the funding that they need, but they're not giving them the actual
resources.
Exactly, the resources and the quality control. Because I feel like there have been times where stuff is released and then it's been us, the gaming community, coming to them and like, yo, this game ain't got no content. Why'd y'all release this? And then they go, oh, we didn't know. How did you not know? You saw the game before we did.
Yeah, I just, again, the observation for me, again, and it has nothing to do with whether or not someone likes the game, is that this is Microsoft's first like flagship exclusive, and it's like it plays in that narrative. Like we all joke around and J-Dub's out there trolling people saying Xbox got no games. Shout out to J-Dub, by the way. That whole thing of Xbox has no games. And yeah, it's jokes at first, but then it's kind of like, and we like obviously they have games. When we say no games, we mean like no like blockbuster or like I think Code said critically acclaimed. Is that what the word you used? Yeah, that's what we're talking about, really. I mean, if you look at the body of work that Nintendo and
That's
Sony is doing,
they don't have. They got no critical acclaim games and nothing to really showcase that hardware. That hardware is overhyped. I'm sick and tired of the community damage controlling for that hardware. Yo, this was the game to show off the hardware. I'm sorry, Enrique, but this was the game. Everybody was waiting all these months, all these times. We're gonna have to wait for they fully utilize the console. 12 teraflops, velocity architecture. Where is it? Where is it? Why am I still seeing pop-ups on the jacket and in the menus? What is going on?
Yeah, I saw you post that. I was like, oh Lord.
That stuff's coming. It's coming. Let me get the super chat real quick from Senu Senu.com. The $2.99 super chat says Returnal Director said PlayStation 5 studios are helping them. Thank you for that super chat. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we knew that before they didn't have to tell us that. We knew they were helping them because that's how Sony roll.
Yeah, they have certain devs that will go out and like Team Ice, they'll go out and help with it. But Housemarque have a great relationship with PlayStation, so they're always gonna get that help they need. But Enrique, when I said that, you said that it's coming. When?
I can only tell you what I've heard. It's coming. The tools are coming. The tools are there.
That's another thing that Xbox. I'm not saying you particularly, but a lot of Xbox gamers, right? Something would not like say they hype up the medium, right? It didn't hit the mark, right? Critically didn't hit the mark, and performance-wise it didn't hit the mark per se, right? According to the first exclusive game for Xbox. Then you're gonna hear the TBA is gonna come out, the to be announced, and the what if's gonna come out. Oh, I heard in the pipeline that this game is gonna be amazing. No, this was supposed to be the game, bro. We gotta stop selling people on these what ifs and TBAs. Show what this console can do with the stuff that supposedly to be exclusive to this console. Why is it not coming now?
It's going to come. I do think I'll say this. I do think it's going to come. I just think that it's a shame that it hasn't come yet. When clearly on another platform, you've seen that already. You know, like we know
PlayStation. What you being all vague for?
PlayStation 5.
All right.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to. What did you say, Code earlier? I'm trying to appease or.
You trying to be.
I'm trying to play.
Stay in the middle of the road.
Yeah, I want to play devil's advocate because Enrique, you said like you believe it's coming, right? And here's the problem. Like I bought a Series X, right? And like Code was saying, like it's got the updates, it's got the speed, it's got those different quality of life things. But again, it doesn't have like the killer app. And then when you had something like the Medium, it was being said by Blue, we're doing it on the Series X because we're doing this new feature, where it's doing simultaneous, different worlds, and it's really going to showcase on this, and we kind of needed that to do this. And then you get it, and it's like, okay, well, it is doing that, and we don't know to the extent. I'm looking forward to playing the game. I'm gonna check it out, but looking at some of it, I'm like, oh, that looks a little spooky. Some of the tank controls, and then you're hearing some performance issues, but the difference is, I didn't go into this overhyping it. I didn't believe Aaron Greenberg. I didn't believe anybody else. I was just like, look, I see what it is. It looks cool. I'm gonna check it out. And that's where I left it, right? Whatever it is, it is. I'll give more of an assessment after I play it. I don't know if I'm gonna come out of that calling it the medium or whatever the case may be, but
medium.
It's gonna be what it is. But here's
the fair, EJ. That's the way you should do it.
Right. But Cole, here's the problem. It's been this whole thing. There's been hardware, and nothing that really goes with it. And Bari's absolutely right. Every time something comes out, it's moving to the next line. Well, okay. Well, when this one hit, it's gonna be on, and then when this one hit, it's gonna be on. And that's why the whole meme for the last 4 years was wait till E3. We didn't get to have an E3 because of COVID this year, but we're still waiting for something, right? So when people say, well, when them studios start firing off, so we average and figure about 2023, 24. That's when they're gonna really hit their stride. Say, so right in time for them their next piece of hardware. Right. So I talk about what their next hardware is. That's when it's gonna be real. And that's the problem. It's like they have this thing about hyping all their stuff, and people seem to think that hardware is where it stops. And we're here for games. And when you say it's the monster that eats monsters, it's like, oh, bitch, it's about to be on.
Can I just say something, E, real quick? The gentleman in the chat said it's a AA third-party game, and we're expecting 90+ meta. Yeah, yes, we have indie games that are like 90+ meta.
Yo, Enrique, that's a wrong statement too, because they were not promoting that game as no AA game. Stop the line.
They promoted it as AAA. Yeah,
they promoted it as AAA. You think people in here dumb? We are not dumb. We are attuned to the news. Okay, you're not going to come up in here in the chat talking about it's a AA game. No, they've been promoting this game as a AAA game. Stop it, bro. You're lying.
So here's the thing. So here's regardless
of AA game,
any of that really don't even matter. Here is the thing, and again, let me be very clear. What I'm talking about is the lies that are being told about the platform. We don't know if the game is good. The game may be fabulous. We don't know, but we don't care because it's not the point. The point is Xbox has been bragging about this hardware, 12 teraflops that eat monsters for breakfast. And therefore, they have set this expectation of all this graphical fidelity. And no matter how many times certain people in this community say, get off the resolution stuff, focus on final image quality. You want lower resolution with higher image quality, with more effects. That is the way. You got all these people, 4K, Aaron Greenberg, 4K 60, 4K all over the place. If the game is fabulous or not, it doesn't matter. What we know for a fact right now is that the game drops to 900p, which is not representative of a monster that eats monsters for breakfast. That's trash. That is unacceptable. And the point is if you are going to flaunt hardware, and if you're going to flaunt all of this power, and if you're going to make all of these claims and all these promises and about power, you cannot then turn around and have a game that you are hyping, that you are representing AA, single A, triple. It don't matter what A it is. It cannot be 900p. Period. Yeah. You are contradicting yourself.
That game should be moving
yourself in the foot. The game might be fabulous. We don't care if the game is great. We don't care if it's a AA. What we care about is that the graphical fidelity of the game is not matching the promise of the hardware that people are investing in, and that is a problem.
Yeah, and it's also failing and on the technical side of things, and more than just resolution, as Jay Barry mentioned, parts like the jacket, her jacket,
the texture pop in, the
texture pop in. Digital Foundry compared the facial animations to
PS3
PS3 game, Heavy Rain.
Jeez. Yes, they did. Heavy Rain.
No
That's
spoilers
bad.
for Heavy Rain. Stop it.
That was 2 gens ago, bro.
Yeah,
not done with it. Stop it.
You got 2 generations back facial animations. Come on.
Someone said Ko took his Centrum Silver tonight.
and once again, this is another example of Microsoft not helping their second-party studios.
That's my point, Slow-Mo. Where are they?
This has been going on for forever.
What does Ninja Theory have? They have their own proprietary performance capture software that they use in Hellblade.
But that's
why is that not available to Bloober Team?
But that's
they in the same hemisphere of the world. It's a hop, skip, and a jump across the pond, as you want to say it over there. But to their studio, and just go ahead and use their performance capture to get better effect. I mean, you have all the resources there. You're Microsoft.
That's my point. Like, this is my point. They have all the resources. They're carrying the banner for you. Blooper Team is waving the Xbox Series X flag. This is going to be exclusive, next gen only. We can only do it on next gen hardware. We all heard the talk, and it's like, Microsoft, where is your, like, you guys, are you not self-aware? Like, what's going on? Like, this is your first impression.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if it was a AAA game or if it's Blooper Team. I mean, like, send people out there. This game can't be 900p. We can't have that.
Facts.
This thing eats monsters. And if we do this,
you can't hype up frame rates. Talking about you won't eat only 60 frames per second, this and that. And there's no performance mode in this game either.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so for example, look at Astro's Playroom on the PS5. What is that? AA, single A? Who cares? The game looks great. It's not a matter of the budget that was on the game. It is the quality of the final product that is released to the public. And Astrobot is a AA game. There is no reason then that the medium could not be as graphic with as high graphical fidelity as Astro's Playroom.
And perform and the thing is too, have it in 30 frames per second, right? Okay, no issue. But you having frame pacing issues with the game as well. Like, what is going on, man? Like,
the combination of all of these bloopers from Blooper Team is the problem.
Yeah, but like Enrique said, you got to have some management issues. You got some management issue there. You got some management issues.
Agreed. It doesn't even run well on PC. PCs with the highest hardware, it doesn't run well.
Yeah, it's not optimized. It's not optimized. Even on PC, it's like like a 30. I think
but why is that? Why is that always when it comes to Xbox?
Whatever, code.
And a lot of people's going to look at me and say, "Oh, it's Jay Barry that's saying this," but it's the truth, right? Every time when it comes to Xbox, it's always something not optimized. It's always a bug. They always have to contact the developer to see if they're going to fix this. You notice that? I watch a lot of these Digital Foundries analysts, right? And it's always something with the Xbox version. Like, we got to call the dev and see what's going on here. Because something's not right. It must be a bug. They never said that with the PlayStation games. You know why? Because they're putting out quality content.
No argument for me. Fact.
They're making sure the performance is running. Watch the Digital Foundry videos. You're going to see every single one. We got to contact the developer, see if this is a bug.
I gotta say, like Digital Foundry saying that the texture on the character faces, whatever it was, looking like Heavy Rain. I'm like, what? Are you serious? Like, and look, like that. We're talking about a $500 console that's super powerful. It's not punching at weight right now, in my opinion. What's that be? Go ahead, man.
It's history repeating itself. It's the same thing we got when the series or the Xbox Series X came out, man.
The One X.
The One X. Yeah, it's the same thing. And that's the same reason why when they rolled out these new consoles, I wasn't excited. Like, I'm tired of talking about hardware. If you don't show me great games, like all this other stuff is pointless.
And what's the next big game that's going to come out for Xbox this year?
I don't know, man.
The next big game is going to probably be Halo, but
next big game,
they released a list of games that are coming out, and I mean none of them look like they're anything crazy. The next big game is going to be Halo that they hype up.
Yeah,
I mean the Ascent is supposed to be coming out.
Oh yeah, Ascent look good. I like that. Looks good.
Yeah, like that's got some potential. What's that date for Crossfire X? Because that's really the game that I'm waiting.
I don't think they have a date for that yet.
Hey, let it bake in the oven. That's what I say.
Remedy out here collecting them checks, man. They ain't trying to run out no Crossfire.
Remedy might be part of Sony apparently. So
Remedy getting it back from everybody. So
people will come up with the craziest rumors just because a game hit PS Plus. Oh, Remedy Sony's about to acquire them.
Somebody tweeted that out, and then Code retweeted some guy. I don't know who that guy was. That Code. But he originally tweeted in Spanish, and I'm like, this is interesting, I don't know if that would happen. That rumor's been around before. We've heard that rumor.
We heard that for a long time now.
Yeah, I don't think Remedy would be acquired by Sony after they signed that 3-game deal with Epic. After that, I don't think they would.
Sony owns part of Epic, right?
Yeah, but a real small part. I mean, regardless of that, but if your
ZeniMax is working on exclusives for Sony, but they was bought by Microsoft.
That's true. ZeniMax.
That's okay. That's true. But this deal that they made with Epic happened like late last year. So I mean, like if you're being acquired by Sony, why do you make this deal with Epic? Why would that even be necessary?
Because that deal might not go through, and you still got to keep your income coming in.
Yeah, but most companies don't make deals if they're about to be acquired, because then that's additional work that has to be done on the lawyer side of things in order to get the acquisition done. They don't really do stuff like that.
But that might be true. That's out of my lane. I don't know about that, but It just seems to me that I would be more attractive to a potential suitor if I've got all these high level contracts that actually where that money would become theirs.
Yeah, and I just look at it from the very base level of it is that's money that's being those 3 games are being published by Epic, and so if I'm Sony and I'm about to acquire Remedy, I'm like, don't make that deal because I'm publishing your games. We can put it on Epic after it comes out on my PS5. But you're not going to be putting games out published by Epic and Epic getting the lion's share of all the money. And, and then now I'm looking like Microsoft, when it comes to games like The Outer Worlds, Deathloop, Tokyo, not Tokyo, Ghostwire Tokyo, where you're trying to figure a way to make sure that you get the better attention on a game that already got deals for your competition. Like, nah, forget all that. Yeah, I just don't see. Remedy does seem like a good bet for Sony just because of how they do their games, but I just don't see it based off of the moves they made recently. I don't see it happening.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to welcome Gaming Forte. What's up, Forte?
What up, though?
We thought you cashed out, man, retired.
Oh, no, not yet.
Yeah, Slow-Mo said you
was holding to Friday. Holding to Friday.
Slow-Mo said you was ducking him, using the house as an excuse.
Ducking him.
Yeah, he says he got smoke for you or something. I don't know.
No, I jumped. I was in a podcast. I was in podcast with Mom yesterday for an hour and a half, and I didn't duck anything. So
okay, all right. Well, let's talk about something real quick. So you dropped the video on Monday, right?
I sure did.
You want to give us the cliff note to that video, sir?
No, you can give it because you'll probably be able to do it better than I can.
Okay, all right, sure. Cliff note to the video is Forte is just realizing, just realizing that Xbox has no games.
Didn't just realize it.
I mean, I just started hearing about it. You had to stop playing Destiny for a while.
He said,
exactly. "I stopped." You know what?
That's
somebody literally just said it.
The moon must have blocked the sun, man.
Look, literally somebody just said it, but no one else gets it. Especially when you say it right in the video. When you play Destiny for 6 years and don't come up for air, you kind of don't care about anything that's going on around.
You're in a bubble.
You're on 80,000 podcasts.
Doesn't matter. Do you think I let those people
telling you this
weigh my opinion on anything?
Been telling you this for years.
Once again, do you think I let other people influence what I think and what I care about? Yes, it does.
Once again, I got a question for my man Forte. I got mad love for my man Forte. That's my guy, 100 grand. You know what I mean? But this man told me that Xbox Series X is the most powerful console. That's out.
And I said once again, on paper, and PlayStation is more powerful in practicality.
Because now that we have an Xbox Series X exclusive game, can you compare it to the PlayStation 5?
Sir, they in the bushes because they're allowing third-party and second-party developers to validate what's going on with their platform instead of their first party. They deserve everything they getting right now.
That's a good ass point right there. That's a good ass point.
That's their fault, and I've been saying that for months. You come out here and allow third party and second party to show off your hardware, and you think they gonna put the extra work in that you should be doing? Come on now. So I didn't expect anything from this game, and I already knew this was gonna happen. So
I think they would put the extra work in if Microsoft was willing to actually help them get there. Because again, as we discussed this before you came in for it.
I say willing to help themselves get there right now. So
yeah, I mean, look, they got the resources, but they don't provide the resources unless you're a first party studio.
That's true too.
So you get what you get.
That's all I've been saying.
It's kind of obvious to me that they're not Code's tweets are not getting to the top. It's not making it to the right ears or whatever.
Somebody ain't paying attention to what Code out here saying.
No, they're not paying attention to Code.
Because if I'm going to go into battle, I'm taking Code with me. If I got to get it done, I'm taking Code with me. I'm not taking any of these other. I'm throwing up air quotes that's hitting my fingers hitting the ceiling right now. Influencers or whatever, right? Because here's the thing, just like back, with when they showed Halo Infinite, they were willing to put that out, and I said some years ago, Xbox would have never shown that.
Fact.
You're not showing that.
This has to be the
best foot for, right? Why would they not keep trying you when they have some of the top influencers and people in their community? Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you guys are so great. Oh, we really appreciate it. And not tagging them when they have negativity to say. They tag them when they have the hype to say, but they don't tag them when they have the negative things to say because they don't want to mess up their status or whatever the case may be. So why wouldn't they keep trying you?
It's a great point. Let me get the super chat real quick. With my man Erodimus with the $5 super chat says, "Hey BRAP, ask Code, does Denny's do that Grand Slam special all day?
That has to be
just for breakfast.
That has to be the best. That must be the best version of an old man joke ever, right there.
That is a pretty good old man joke.
No, that's the guy. We be going at it on Twitter. He well, actually, I had to take an L because
Oh, please tell more.
Oh, you took an L? Let's hear this.
Yeah, because I was like, he said something smart, and I was like, look here, bro. I guarantee you that I support Xbox more than you, and I probably have twice the investment in Xbox that you do. So we started naming off consoles and peripherals and HD DV drives and all the stuff that we got for Xbox. And I don't know. I don't have double him like he got. Like consoles are the same. He has 2 360s. I only have one. But he has a Series X, but not a 1X. I got a 1X, not a Series X. But I'm pretty sure I won because I have 700 games. He didn't really tell me how many games he had. He was like,
you got Game Pass.
Yeah, so I don't have double him, so I had to take that L because I really don't have double the investment in Xbox that he does. But at the same time, you can't just call me like somebody just trashing on Xbox for nothing. I keep telling y'all, I want Xbox to be better. I want my investment in Xbox to pay off like it did before. And I refuse to spend another dime until they give me a compelling reason to jump into that platform. And all the stuff they doing now, this ain't it at all. So I will stay happily on my PS5, enjoying gaming the way it's supposed to be done. And I don't care what none of these bastards say.
Go ahead, E.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I saw someone say in the chat, like, all Xbox gamers criticize Xbox over the price hike. Yeah, people criticize. And what's the first thing they did when they came out and said, "Oh, our bad, y'all. We shouldn't have done that." Or whatever. Oh, you guys always listen. You always pull.
Yeah, right.
Respect and shut up. Y'all give them thousands of dollars. Look at them, make them flinch. Throw your chest.
Not everybody. Not everybody was speaking out of. People was telling me that they just spent $7.5 billion. They got to make that cost up somehow. People, I watched a dude say cut grass. I
heard that. Pick up a summer job and cut the grass.
What?
He said Xbox don't die, we multiply. That's the man's quote.
Oh man.
That's
why people be listening to.
Is engagement on social media is fine. Listening to your fan base is fine, but you got to have a point where it's like, you foster this culture where people are like baby birds. It's like all they try to do is get your attention by saying the nicest things. And I just want to get that follow. I just want to get that attention. I just want to be like this person so I can get a free Xbox at some point and this and this and that. And it fosters this thing of I'm just going to accept whatever you throw at me.
Yeah, look, that's a great point, man. And you're bringing up some really great points about the community, which leads me to this. I got to speak my mind on this. I've been trying to be politically correct about this for a long time, but
from the heart,
the Xbox,
you about to get cancel culture.
Yeah, right.
Make sure you do what I did. Make sure you don't caveat this. Just come out and say it, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say it's been a good run.
What's that?
Just come out and say it, bro. Let those people let the comment section speak for itself after it's all said and done.
Yeah, go ahead, nah, you bring up a really good point, man. Oh, Code left. He's like, I want no part of this.
He'll be back.
Oh shit! All right. Hopefully, did he leave?
He probably got dropped.
No, he probably got dropped. He probably back.
Let's see here. Hold on.
You know his internet old, just like him.
Wow.
Wow. Y'all some savages, yo.
No, you missed that. Forte
he heard
said,
it. You probably
heard what he said.
He heard it. Hey, look, I support that man, so I could come after him every once in a while.
Oh boy. So look, you said something that really just resonated with me, and this is why I got to speak from the heart. Jay's like, you got to speak from the heart, so I'm going to speak from the heart, Jay Barry. I got to be honest with you, the Xbox community, and not all the Xbox community, I want to make that very clear, but a lot of y'all, when I played Hive Busters, and I heard you all hyping this game up and talking about, oh, it looks so great on the Xbox Series X, and it's amazing. It uses, high shadow textures and whatever, right? And I'm popping a rare achievement for opening up a door. A fucking door. I opened up a door and bling, rare achievement. What? Opening up a door? For starting a second level of a game? Are you kidding me? And I'm starting to think, and I'm playing the game. Okay, maybe we'll see what happens, Popping the achievements, rare achievements, rare achievements, rare achievements, rare achievements, rare achievements.
So you saying that you revived a teammate and got a diamond achievement?
Pretty much. You know what? I got a diamond achievement for powering up the Series X. I mean, honestly, do you all does the Xbox community, are they more concerned with being liked by Phil Spencer and the Xbox leadership than they are getting good games? It's almost like, hey, let's give them $500 every 3 or 4 years for the most powerful console.
So,
you know what? We've got
it's clear that the good games thing
question?
Is not the issue, because Hive Busters apparently is good.
It's real good, but
all the feedback from Hive Busters has been positive. So why aren't they playing it?
But that's my point, Sumo. It's like, it's almost like they care more about being like Eric said, they did something wrong. And you go back and you're like, hey, Father God, you guys, you're so great. You're so wonderful. You listen to us. No, they're not listening to us. Because when's the last time we got a great game? Look what they did with Halo. They turned Halo into a bastard child. Halo is, for people to understand what Halo is, and Code, because
what Halo was.
You know this, Code, because you were 55 when the game first came out. I mean, that game literally was genre defining.
Absolutely.
Literally turned the industry upside down.
Bro, it was a phenomenon. That's what you call a system seller, was Halo.
Yeah.
Xbox would not be here right now if it wasn't for Halo.
No. So it's like, and so I'm just watching this stuff and I'm observing the damage control, the constant praising and wanting to be liked and followed by these guys. This it's almost like the demigods. It's like, and I got to be honest with you, Jay, I know you're on the PlayStation, but man, you guys, when I'm on my PlayStation 5 and I look at my friends list, I don't see people on Netflix. I don't see people on Crackle or whatever it's called. I don't see people on YouTube. I see people playing games. I don't see that on the Xbox.
My PlayStation.
I mean, maybe
in both places.
I mean, I don't know. That's just, again, that's my experience. But my point in what Eric was saying, Eric, and I really, what you said really resonates. Like, it's almost like it's become a situation where it's more about being in and being popular and just talking about games instead of just actually playing games and actually demanding better games.
I think that's true, because I honestly think that a non-trivial portion of the greenie community is more about winning arguments on Twitter than they are about actually playing games.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
They're more of pandering to other people's feelings rather than speaking about their own feeling of the game. There's many times I ask, Xbox gamers, like, how you feel about this game, man? You playing it good? They were like, well, the people that I know like it, my friends like it. I'm like, I didn't ask about your friends, man. I asked you, like, do you like the game? And they're always like, is more about the people rather than themselves as far as like how they will feel about something. It's a weird cultish behavior over there, man. Not everybody. I'm a panda to you guys.
No, it's not everyone. No,
not everyone. But
it's not everyone.
I'm talking about the crazy.
It's enough where you notice it.
Yes, exactly. I was gonna say it's enough for me to start noticing it. And when Eric said what he said, I'm like, yep, because I saw it. I saw it as soon as they made that decision And I'm like, nah, you're not getting off that easy. Nope. I would spend thousands of dollars, you know, and you know, the amount of money invested over the last 20 years, nah, you're not getting off that easy.
So this console is Phil Spencer's console, right? That's what everybody's saying. Like this Series X, Series S is Phil Spencer's console.
I've never heard that. Where'd that come from?
You never heard that?
Barry's talking about like because there was like a long period, and depending on which way it went. If it went good, then it was like Phil's. If it went bad, then it was still Don Matrick stuff. And they're still kind of doing that now, like, and it's sort of like because there was a time where it was like, oh, this E3 is about to be on because this is Phil's E3, and then when that E3 went left, man, those games were already in
on the Don Matrick leaderboard.
So there was a whole thing like around that, right? So yeah.
Well, I wouldn't put the console. I would just say this generation is Phil, because I think if you give this console to like another platform holder like Sony, you'll get a completely different skill set that comes out of it. You know, I don't think the system's the problem. It's the people that's developing the games for the system, which is the biggest problem right now.
And the decision where have we heard that are publishing the game?
That's always been the thing. That's why I always think I fought back against people, and it's like you're talking about the system like the system is the thing that makes the games.
Man, where have we heard this before? Preach, Forte, preach.
Look, it's code. But the biggest thing that people, and I do kind of want to elaborate, because I do think a lot of people, when they have these arguments and stuff, I think there's a lot of people out here that are kind of like I have been over the course of the last generation. If you look down your friends list on Xbox, you don't really see a lot of people playing Xbox games. You don't see them playing first party games for the most part. Everybody on Xbox is playing something third party, and that's kind of what they kind of stay in. You got your people that stay in Apex Legends. You got your people that stay in games like Assassin's Creed for like 3 months and stuff, because those are kind of games that they main and stuff. And that's kind of been something that Xbox has kind of fostered over the course of the generation, because they haven't had a stellar first party line. And if you wanted to be on Xbox and play, and you wanted to continue, you know, playing with your friends and stuff in that ecosystem, those are kind of the games you kind of just gravitated to. And over the course of a generation, like in my case, I just gravitated and stayed in Halo and Destiny, because that was the game that I wanted to play the most, because there was really nothing else, you know, of substance out there on the platform that I wanted to play. I always told people I put Destiny down for one game this entire generation, and it was a PlayStation game called God of War. It's the only game I literally put it down for one calendar month. And it was because I wanted to play that game. It was a game that I was not going to miss. You know, Slow-Mo gets on me like, why did you want to? Well, you haven't played Spider-Man. You own it, but you won't even play it. I mean, because it's not a game that I'm really interested in like that. It's other games. I'd rather go play the game that I want to play. And God of War was the game that it was for me. And I think for Xbox gamers, that's kind of been the situation the entire generation. Now, I don't know if that's going to change going into this new generation. Maybe it will with the course of new games coming out. But, you know, a game like Gears of War, you know, which is, you know, critically acclaimed when it comes to like, you know, what it is. A lot of people think that game, the DLC High Busters, is better than the base game of the game. But you know what? Most people don't care about it, because it's not a game that they actually cared about throughout the generation. You know, Halo, people cared about Halo during the 360 generation. You know, we got two fabulous actually four. You know, well, they remastered one and bring it over, but we got two during the 360 era, and 3 happens to be probably the most garnered one of all of them and stuff. We got our Gears of War franchise during that, so people cared about the first party games, you know, back then. But ever since this generation started, towards the end of the Don Matrick era back in 2011, when Xbox kind of cycled down on their first party and started trying to cruise into the next generation, that's where all this kind of started. They started fostering this third party mentality where we're going to just have the third party games on our system, and as long as you're in our ecosystem, that's fine. And it just doesn't fly for a lot of people, and that's kind of where the thoughts of my video came from, because it wasn't that I didn't realize it, it's just the fact that I just didn't care. I didn't care what Xbox came out with, because Halo was the game that I wanted to play. The game wasn't there day one. Me and Slow-Mo sitting in the live stream, hype as hell, talking about the game, and then we see pop-ins coming from an elevator from halfway around the map on something supposed to be being on a PC, running on a PC. And it was disappointing. And then guess what? We just go back to doing what we do. I go back, play Destiny. Slow-Mo goes back and plays
everything,
Company, and whatever other game he wants to play.
Everything.
He says everything.
Well, whatever else he wants to play. But guess what? We're not playing Xbox games. So that's kind of where the whole community sits right now. So it doesn't surprise me that Xbox gamers don't support those games like they should. But it's just kind of how it's been throughout this generation.
So here's the thing, y'all. So, and like a lot of people say this, but I don't think they understand how embarrassing this is. And like, here is their new slogan or their new tagline: Xbox, the console you buy because your friends have one. And like, that's it. Pretty it's not much. Because of games. It's not because of awesome experiences. It's not because of VR. Like, none of like it is. The reason you own an Xbox is because your friends have one.
Yeah, Xbox dudes like being on the phone. They do say that.
I mean, I came out and said that. Like,
is that real is that real code? Yeah, that's for marketing?
No, that's what it should be.
That's what it should be. Well, think about it. When we did this last year, why is everybody in their system? I've always said for the last 6 months, 7-8 months, I was like, well, why are you buying your Xbox Forte? I'm buying it for Destiny because Bungie
friends,
over there. And I said, I want to play with my friends. I want to play with Luca. I want to play with Taz. That's why. It was never a game. It was never like, oh my God, Halo looks incredible. It probably would have been Halo if they actually had a game that everybody wanted to actually play, that actually had a resemblance of what Halo used to be instead of what they actually gave us. But once that got delayed into next year, there was really no reason outside of the core benefits of what you've been doing throughout the entire generation, which is the people you play with. And that is 100% what Cole just said. Your friends are the reason you bought your Xbox. That is literally the main reason. Games were a secondary thing. And I mean, I'm not trying to say that that's not good for some people because, you know, your friends are what make games fun in the first place. But overall, that's kind of what Xbox has kind of fostered throughout the last generation. That's not a true
statement for me, Forte. I can't run with you in that statement. Games are fun because of what the developers did and what they created.
Well, I'm talking about Xbox is built on multiplayer. It's not built on single player games like PlayStation is. You know, that's the inherent difference between it. You know, I'll never take away the fact that Xbox has fostered an amazing community around multiplayer. So that is kind of just embedded in that culture way more than is embedded in the PlayStation culture. If you want to boot, I can boot up my PlayStation and not be in a party for an entire month and play a game that's over there because I'm just used to that type of experience over there. I'm on Xbox. It's weird not being in a party talking to people on Xbox because it's a social platform more like that. So I'm not disagreeing and saying that it doesn't matter. It's just that both ecosystems have different things that they bring to it. And Xbox they leverage that really, really well. But people just don't decide to play their first party games because there's other things out there that are better right now.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but it depends on the person too, because PlayStation, everything.
Yeah, it depends on the person.
I do on PlayStation. And if you also look at like the stats wise, PlayStation is more online.
That's what I was going
to I think you got more systems. You definitely
it's definitely a myth that PlayStation is not a multiplayer platform.
Oh yeah.
Like Call of Duty is way easier to get in the game in Call of Duty on PlayStation, and they have at least 3 to 4 times the player base. So it's definitely easier to get into online.
Well, it's mostly when you ask, if you was to ask somebody, it would be what would the answer be? Like just a random person.
I mean, a lot of people believe in
but that's perception, and that.
But that's what I said. That's what it is.
That's just like
I'm not talking about reality. I mean, perception and reality are two different things.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you on that.
You know, that's what I'm saying. The perception is always going to be Xbox is the best place to play multiplayer because that's what it's always been. The reality is PlayStation got 100.
Dang.
Oh man!
Man! They
look at his old internet.
Like, yo, out here.
Got him up out of here.
Get him out of here.
Oh man, they yanked him.
Yo, Jim Ryan say enough is enough. Let the games do the
talk. Hey, Code, he was just making fun of your internet too, man.
So I'm saying, yeah.
No, but I'm gonna say real quick before we move forward, like Forte was definitely onto something because I've actually had like some debates with like guys who are pretty much just like Xbox platform, and their feeling was always there shouldn't be any like exclusive thing anywhere. Like all games should be on all platforms. And I never understood that thinking because I was kind of like, what do you need multiple platforms for if every game is on every platform? Right. But that's literally how they felt about it. Like that's how it should be. And I know people might think what I said before was a slight that Xbox dudes like to be on the phone. But again, no, for real. Like that's you go on Xbox, dudes love being in party. They love being in party. And it's like that. I don't always rock with that because I play mostly single player games and I can't talk to people and focus on what I'm playing.
And focus, yeah.
You know, so it's one thing if I'm kind of just like messing around, but most times if I'm in a party with somebody on Xbox, I'm not even really playing. I might be working or doing something else. I'm literally like on the phone with them.
Yeah,
you know, but he's right. Forte is on that. He's on it.
Yeah, the ticker going across my screen saying you got 10 seconds until you self-destruct. That's what's going on.
That's your old internet. Stop hating.
No, it wasn't my internet. I got 1,000 down.
Some young modern internet, sir.
Man, yo, Starbucks said we closing.
He's out. Forte's out in the parking lot because they're shutting up right now.
I don't know, man. 1,000 down, man. I know it ain't my internet.
Let me get this super chat real quick from Herodimus again. Thank you, Herodimus. Appreciate the super chat. $5 super chat says, "What PlayStation game is bigger than Xbox exclusivity of Roblox?"
That's right. Does PlayStation not have Roblox?
No, not natively. You got to find some janky way of doing it. You got to pull up a browser.
You got to do it through the browser. Yeah.
Roblox you can play on your cell phone. My nieces and nephews, they play that all the time.
Yeah. Roblox is like the it's man, kids love that. I got my son a Series S thinking like, all right, you know, he said he wanted the Xbox. All right, I don't quite trust him yet on the gaming side of things. All I know is he likes Minecraft and Fortnite. I'm like, all right, let me get you a Series S, you know, get you under my account. I got a bunch of games. Let's see what you play.
Hey,
all he plays is Roblox.
How much money you spent on Roblox this year so far, Solomon?
Zero so far. I told him like, nah, man, I got that thing locked down. I'm like, yo, as soon as he tries to attempt, I get a notification.
I'm not saying he wouldn't win it. Bought and saying how much have you bought him? None yet.
Nothing. Well, he keeps playing like the same 3 games that are free. He just rotates them. But yeah, that's all he plays is Roblox, and I'm like, yo, I mean, I get it.
My kid just got $220 worth of Roblox for Christmas, and I asked her, I was like, before you put these codes in, I want you to think about how much money you're giving someone else. She was like,
wait, where are they spending it on?
She was like, what are you? She was like, what do you mean? I was like, you're literally making someone else a billionaire right now. And she was like, yeah. I was like, well, I want you to start thinking of ways to make yourself a billionaire. She's like, you know what? And then she found out that you can make games in Roblox. So she's actually working on a game that she's trying to make.
Right.
They build up levels like GTA and all that.
So
that's all my niece and nephews do, man.
Yep, she literally tries to make levels now more than she plays the games at this point.
Is that the bigger draw for most kids? My son is just getting into
most kids just jump in and play.
Just playing what's already created.
It's mostly a dress up game. You know, they try to go in there and play with their friends and dress up and play certain games. But you know, the biggest part of it is the more lucrative part is actually going in there and trying to build stuff that people can. You know,
that's how they play house. You know how we used to play house.
Yeah,
you find like a little, make a tent or whatever, or under the bed if you were the girl. But nowadays they do it in Roblox. You know what I mean? That's how they do it.
It ain't quite the same, Jay. It ain't quite the same.
It ain't the same. But my nieces, they don't need to communicate on the phone with their friends. They log on to low Roblox and we just build a little house and we play house and all that. It's crazy, bro.
So, bro, my granddaughter is 13. So in this house, there are multiple Xboxes, multiple PlayStations, multiple Nintendo systems. We got a Wii, a Wii U, all of them still hooked up. 3 Switches, PS3, PS4, multiple PS4, PS4 Pros, 1 PS5. All, like I said, all types of Xboxes, Nintendo DSs, and she get to play any game she want. I asked her what's her favorite system, and she says Xbox. And I'm like, how? Why? And it's Minecraft, because we got all of the mods for Minecraft on Xbox, all of the little downloadable, and that's what she plays. And my grandson is 15. Same thing. He has access to literally thousands of games. When I was their age, I had to play one game for 2 years. They literally have thousands of games, and the only games he plays, he'll play Final Fantasy 7, he'll play Final Fantasy 7 Remake, then he'll go play Final Fantasy 8, and then he starts over. And he keeps playing those same games over and over and over. And I'm like, I just don't understand. Oh, and then he played Final Fantasy 15 too. But like, thousands of games they have access to, and if you leave it up to them, they will play like the same game.
Right there, let that man rock, Cole. Let him just play them fine.
I get it. It's just like how my daughter is with games and stuff. Like right now, she's playing RE3, the remake. But she play you. If you ever look at my friends see online, she plays a lot of Mortal, like a lot. She got like probably 2,000, 3,000 hours in Mortal Kombat. That's like her favorite game that she plays every day. But then for the most part, she beat things like Until Dawn and went through, beat it 7 times to try to get the, ending with everybody and stuff. But
that's what's up.
My youngest daughter, she's platinum Spider-Man, and she tried playing Demon Souls and just like, no, this ain't it for me, Chief. I was like, okay. So I had to step her down. She's in the mirror of Sekiro right now. But it's just trying to get them to play other things. It's like, they'll be like, oh, this is cool, and they'll fall off. But for the most part, those games that get them hooks in them, Fortnite, I spent too much on that, and I spent way too much on Roblox. And she's waiting for me, Slow-Mo, and B Money to jump back in there. I mean, I'd be Money Eric to jump back in there and play some Minecraft Dungeons with her, because she mad that he ain't never jumped back and play that no more.
We can do that. My daughter's been on me about playing. Recently. So she's been asking me about Roblox too. I'm trying to hold that one off for as long as I can. Yeah,
because she jumped in that one time that me, Slow-Mo, and Ejack was playing. She jumped in and played Minecraft Dungeons with us for like 2 hours. She was like, "Oh my god, this is what it's like to just run around and play with people." So
let's do that, man. Let's get that going.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I have fun doing that. We can do that again.
You talking about Dungeons or Roblox?
Dungeons.
Oh, okay,
Dungeons is that deal.
I just playing that with my son. Yeah, he likes it. Yeah.
Keep up, Taco Boy. How you gonna have a podcast and don't know what we talking about, man?
Man, hey Code.
He ain't exactly Speedy Gonzalez, huh?
but that's also the thing. But that just speaks to the thing that I was just saying earlier. It just comes to the fact that Xbox isn't really known. Like, they're known for Halo. Halo is still GOAT when it comes to Xbox. It's what put Xbox on the map. But outside of that, it's known for just a whole bunch of third-party stuff that people just play. And it's not really one particular thing. And that's kind of the lane that Xbox kind of set up for their players. Like I said, hopefully that changes.
Sounds like PC
this generation. Well, that's what we think about it. Ever since they've been putting their games on PC and they started with the whole Play Anywhere initiative, that's kind of been what Xbox is. It's basically a PC that you can hook up to your TV without having to do all the extra stuff involved.
So why doesn't Xbox just buy Roblox?
That's a lot of money.
That's probably next.
That's money.
they Minecraft was a lot of money and they bought that, and it's very similar.
Roblox is way more money though.
I heard
not more money than Minecraft.
It probably is at this point. You got to think about how many the transactional stuff, because it's not bigger than Minecraft when it comes to like stuff
all on your door. This is all anecdotal, Forte.
Yeah, you're right.
Roblox compared to Minecraft, it's not the same worldwide. Also,
it's not the same worldwide. You're right. Well, Minecraft is the biggest game in the world, honestly, when it comes to like an intellectual property like that Microsoft owns. It's everywhere, literally.
Yeah, I mean, like they've somehow kept it off of the PlayStation platform. Some money had to change hands in order to do that, because that you would think. I mean, it's not like the game's doing anything special or anything. I mean, most of the games look like something that anyone can make. But
hey man, we still ain't got that YouTube app on that. On Xbox.
Roblox is not worth as much as what Microsoft paid. They're worth 4.5 billion. Or 4.05 billion.
That's what Roblox is worth.
Yeah. They I guess they recently went public. The company did.
Oh, so they just recently went public. Okay.
That's less than that ZeniMax purchase, and they probably would get, considering the demographic that's targeting and how addicted to the game they are, they could definitely that could be another Minecraft acquisition for them, because they made all the money back off of that easily.
Yeah. Let me kind of want to kind of go back to a little bit what we were talking about earlier, and Code and I were talking about this in DM. Yeah, but Code and I were talking about this in DM. Code. I think Code may have fallen. He can't get up. He's muted. Code, you there? Oh, he's back.
Yeah,
He's falling. He can't get up.
He can't get up.
Wow.
Somebody get the phone.
Lillian falling down the steps again.
Cole got the alert necklace.
He got the life alert.
Yeah, you remember that? I fallen. I can't get up. I know, right? It's all good.
You like the man that keeps falling down the steps and can't get
y'all bad influence, man. I never diss my man Cole in his age. Yo, Cole, I apologize, man.
Don't worry about apologize, Jay. You don't need to apologize, man. He'll take his shots at you too. You watch.
No, me and Jay, only thing we disagree about is Game Pass and batteries. Other than that, we cool.
Batteries, yeah.
Oh yeah, he all about buying brand new controllers every other year.
All right, let that man change his batteries, man. There's nothing wrong with options.
Hey, yo, man, I've never changed a controller since PS3. I don't know where these scenarios come up with these.
I don't either. I'm still sitting on the same DualShock from 4 years ago, and I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Barbara, same thing, like battery wise, like I haven't had to throw away a DualShock 4 at all, right? And I don't know where these dudes like, yo, my controller's mad dirty. It's like, what y'all doing with these things?
Man, I be seeing those controllers coming into the store. People try to trade. Like, I want to buy a new controller. There ain't nothing wrong with this one. Bull.
My Xbox.
They're like, man, if you don't get that COVID remote out of here.
All right, but Code and I were talking about something in DM, Code, and this kind of ties back to what we were talking about earlier, Code. Like, who's got more skin in the game here? I was having a conversation about this with my man OBM on DM, and I presented this question to Code. I don't know if you remember, Code.
I remember, yeah.
But it was kind of like I was trying to tell OBM, and he's probably in the live chat. If you're there, OBM, say hello. And he brought up some great points. You're talking about like Microsoft, the investment of games, and how much they're really investing in studios now and studio acquisitions and all these great things Microsoft's done in terms of just investment in Xbox from a studio's perspective. And I said to him, I said, yeah, you know, that's all great. I said, but I don't know. I just get this sinking feeling. I said, and this is what I said. I said, for Microsoft, yes, Xbox, I'm sure is a priority because they're investing money, right? But if it were to fail, they'd be okay. You know, I feel like there's, and I said to him, I said, I just feel like there's like when you're in the when your livelihood depends on one thing. In my opinion, I think there's a greater sense of urgency to do that one thing that your livelihood depends on. Great. And I presented that to Code. I said, Code, do you think that maybe Sony and Nintendo have more skin in this game than Microsoft? And maybe that's why we see the kind of quality in terms of quality control, the kind of titles we see from Nintendo and Sony. Is that in part maybe a reason why we see that? Because let's face it, Nintendo, this is it for them. They don't make good games. They don't sell. They're out. They're done. No more Nintendo. I believe PlayStation probably counts for, the last I checked, it's probably more now, maybe it isn't more, but maybe it's the same. A third of PlayStation.
Oh, that's low. I think it'd be at least a third.
Yeah, it's about it's a third. Last time I read it was a third of Sony's business was PlayStation. It's their biggest business unit in Sony. So if that goes away, just imagine the financial impact there. So, you know, I kind of wanted you to kind of share your insight a little bit, because you did reply to me and you said, yes, I agree with you. And I forget what else you said. But do those two companies maybe have more skin in the game? And that's why they're so aggressive with delivering content and speaking to gamers with games per se.
So yes. short answer, yes. And I think it's pretty clear that Xbox, if you look at Microsoft and you look at Sony, Xbox would have died were it not for Microsoft. Xbox needs the money that Microsoft has to keep it going because Xbox on its own really wasn't generating very much revenue.
Right.
Whereas on the other hand, Sony needed PlayStation for it to survive. And the way it stands right now, Microsoft can shut down the Xbox division and never blink an eye. Like the way they shut down Mixer, if this whole ZeniMax thing, like they'll get rid of it. They'll probably shift to all mobile gaming and call it a day and move on and wouldn't blink twice. Xbox represents a very small portion of the money that Microsoft makes. Therefore, like Enrique was saying, Sony has a more vested interest in making sure that the games that they produce, people are willing to buy. The same with Nintendo. Nintendo, like our lives depend on people being able to buy these games and wanting to buy these games. Microsoft is like Xbox is able to use Microsoft as a crutch. And I do think that the developers, like those staple of studios that they have, I believe that they all want to make high quality games. And I believe that they all want to do the very best for gamers, and they want the gamers and their peers to be appreciative of the work that they produce. But Xbox as an organization is like Jay Barry was saying earlier, like there's no quality control. There is nobody there that makes sure that the titles, their first and second party titles and games with their partners, there is nobody that makes sure that these games are all up to par. That's where they fall down. And they, again, at the end of the day, Microsoft, like, okay, we done messing with them. They've had enough time and they can just pull the plug on the whole thing. Whereas Sony is crucial that PlayStation survive, and obviously for Nintendo, because that's all they do. Well, theme parks they've gotten, like mobile games, but at the end of the day, they want to make sure that they make games that people want to buy.
Yeah, that's well said, Code. You know, and I hope with these studio acquisitions that maybe there's a guy there that's going to do, or a lady, if it doesn't have to be a guy, but maybe there's someone there that can maybe do someone with that quality control. I don't know if there is. I know that's something that Slow-Mo has brought up on numerous occasions. I think you said it, Slow-Mo, like you think that them maybe being hands off in that sales pitch at Matt Booty saying of, hey, come here and you know you have creative freedom might hurt him.
The way I see it is that it hurts the overall quality and it also hurts the development of the developer as far as growing and becoming better, because there's no pushback when things aren't looking good, for example, or an idea of a game that they may have isn't going to work. No one wants to play that, but you like the team that you got together that approved it is only people that want to play this. That's not a great idea, but they brought them in with this. You could do what you want. We're basically your piggy bank. We cut the check. Like we've seen it from different quotes from guys like Brian Fargo, who runs In Exile, from the guy that runs Double Fine. I can't remember his name right now. All of them, Obsidian, all of them has said that they've gone into meetings with Matt Booty and their Xbox producers and pitched ideas with the expectation, because they've been doing this so long, of getting some pushback or having to answer questions on the viability of how this game would sell, and there's none of it.
Wow.
They just say, all right, sounds good, and they were shocked. But this is why. But for the better studios that they have, the Obsidians, that's great, because all Obsidian needed all Ninja Theory needed was money, and they will make you a quality product. But then for the other studios, they got that they need some guidance. They've had potential, but the actual execution of that potential never got fully realized in the games they've made before.
Yeah.
And so when you don't give them any feedback that is beneficial to their growth, they don't grow. It's like being an absentee parent. You may have a good kid and all, but you need to actually, like, he's a kid.
Yeah,
so
you gotta participate. Yeah.
Be a parent. You can't just give him your wallet and be like, "Wild out, son." Like he gonna buy some clothes with it. And he might also buy some drugs with it and be a meth head. You don't know. It's all up to him. So really, the growth of these studios is all on them because they're not getting the guidance from upper management, which. When I initially first said this years ago, people pushed back at me like, you don't know what you're talking about, but now they see it. And I even said it then. I said, in some ways, this is good for the studios that are better because they don't need guidance. They understand how to make games better than the people that are cutting the checks. And that's been well known considering how they have been known as a publisher before they had their change, their 180 change to freedom, because they were busy, micromanaging all their developers under them. We saw all of we saw all the word that came out about how their development of that game with Obsidian that was supposed to be an MMO, was supposed to be a launch title for the Xbox One, how that turned out, how they kept changing their mind every few months on what they wanted in the game. Obsidian was missing deadlines because they're developing things in a game that they end up having to throw in the trash because Microsoft said we don't want to do that no more. They don't do any of that stuff no more. That's great because you don't know how to manage.
Right. So you don't want to go from one extreme to the other.
Exactly. You got to learn how to balance it. Like you got to learn how to when to step in and say, you got a great idea here, but here's a little bit of constructive criticism on some things I think that we could work on or change or make it better. There's nothing wrong with that. You're still making your idea still being realized. Yep. It's just that there's ways to make sure that it works, and then also ways to make sure that everyone that you're trying to sell the game to actually wants to play it. And that's where I think they're missing right now. And I still feel like just like we hear about the other studios coming together and talking and sharing resources with one another. I almost feel like that's organic. Like that was just one studio head talking to another studio head and say, "Hey, look, I know you guys got that mocap engine. Can we borrow that? Can you come over and work with us to show us how you do XYZ? Because it surely ain't coming from up top, because we see how they treat second party. They don't get any of the resources the first party gets, and they're making exclusive games for them. I would want them, because this is promoting them to the point where they're like, hey, maybe it would be cool if we got acquired by them. Look at all the resources they have. They got Azure. They got all this. They got all the middleware that everyone uses. They got all of this proprietary mocap technology. Why wouldn't I want to jump in on that if I already get to use this stuff and I see how I get treated by them as a second party? But they don't do any of that. Yeah, that's all I got, man.
All right. I think hold on a sec here. I think OBN wanted to pop in real quick and provide some additional context to this conversation. Hold on a sec here.
Michigan in the house.
Yeah, but look, as to further go with that, they're going to continue to keep getting developers this way because it's what devs want to hear. I get to make what I want.
Yeah.
They love to hear that, and they themselves feel like ain't nothing wrong with the game I made, ain't nothing wrong with the design I came up with. That's what I'm saying.
Like they still need some oversight, though.
Right. But they're not gonna feel that way. But they do need it. They're gonna feel like, nah, I wish the publisher would shut up.
But yeah, everybody needs it, right? Like nothing suffers from examination except an error. So if your game is tight like you think it is, having them check it out is not going to affect it. They're gonna be like, "Yeah, you was right." So there's no reason to not have it.
Yeah,
but in a way, I feel like it's too late for them to do that because they marketed this acquisition to these guys with this context. So you got them in that
what
way.
they told them guys. They need to start implementing some consistency and quality control.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, real quick, we got OBM. I know we got a packed house here, but I want to get OBM because actually this topic came up from a conversation I had with OBM, so I thought it was fair to maybe have him come on. He wants to add some additional context to this. So, OBM, go ahead, man. Floor is yours, sir.
What's up, man? Well, how's it going, guys?
Insider.
I'm not an insider. I have no clue what's going on. I'm like Jon Snow. I know nothing. I'm just out here in the wilderness, stuck on the other side of the wall, looking for a hot wilding. But anyways,
man, OBN went off on me in the DM the other day. He was like, "If you say something I don't like again, I'm gonna slap you, punk." I was like, "Whoa, I apologize, sir."
OBM's got a mean streak to him, man.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all.
It was rough.
No, I told Code. I really I do love how nuanced and articulate he is on podcasts. I'm like, man, I got on Twitter here a few months ago. I thought somebody jacked his account. I was going to tell Enrique, it's like somebody got hold of Code's account. You better get a hold of him before somebody sullies his reputation. No, but anyways, I was hearing you guys, and I just wanted to add a little more context to the conversation, and not to disagree with things. I think when you talk about really almost everything you guys are saying is really kind of what we're living through based on where they were. The one thing that I think is missing, and the reason I want to bring it up is because, I do think, for gamers that are on the platform that are like wondering what the hell is going on, I think it is good to kind of understand a little bit of the context if you are interested in the business side of it. I think most people are pretty well aware that, they almost shuttered gaming in general. Like, it didn't really fit into the corporate culture and things like that. Yep. They weren't putting any money into the game. And I'm sure, Code, when you talk to Microsoft developers, they probably would say the same thing. Yeah. And even like, I think when they began the generation, they had a budget, and then when they kind of fell flat, they got that budget taken back, and that's why you had studios closing down, projects getting canceled. And then something happened, like they ran some proof of concepts with Game Pass, and I think Minecraft had a big impact on showing Nadella what gaming could be once they were able to go everywhere. And so, like in 2017, late in that year when they restructured, I don't know if anybody's ever looked at like a corporate structure. Like I would tell people, like, if you're looking at whether a company is serious or not, forget about all the PR bullshit. I mean, they told us over and over, 2016, 2017, hey, games are coming, we're doing all this stuff, and we know that was bullshit, right? Like, that was just a bunch of hot air to kind of keep us there, I think. While they're trying to
tell you what they feel you need to hear to keep you invested.
Absolutely. And so I would even say, forget everything anybody's telling you from that standpoint. What I would say is way different. If you look at the corporate culture or not corporate culture, but the corporate structure of Microsoft after they restructured in 2017, there's like 4 product divisions that actually go right up to Satya Nadella. One of them, like, it used to be gaming was right under Windows, right? And they had to get the bags from the Windows division, and Meyerson controlled that. And that's why people always talk about Meyerson, because he didn't believe in gaming, and really a lot of people in Microsoft didn't. And then what happened after that is, when they restructured, when Nadella bought into whatever it is that Phil sold them, and this is where me and Enrique were debating. Enrique's like, hey, I don't know that Phil's the guy. I'm like, yeah, the guy still makes mistakes, but at the end of the day, he's somehow sold Satya to take him from under Windows. Windows got split up and actually went under the cloud and their hardware division. So they really now have hardware, they have AI, they have cloud, and they have gaming.
I know what the sales pitch was, OBM.
Phil
walked. Let me tell you, Phil walked to the office. Hey, Sacha, here's the deal. We got these fans. They'll let us do anything we want. We can 70 Metacritic games.
Yep.
Put it in a Game Pass, and then we could try to charge them extra. We might not get away with it, but they'll still love us anyway.
Hey, whatever got us Game Pass. But but no. So what I was trying to get to, and I know I'm being a little bit long-winded here, so I do apologize about that. But when you look at that, so there's 4 divisions that report to Nadella now. One of them is gaming, and one of them is Phil Spencer, and the other ones is the AI, which is like their future growth area, cloud, which is like they're basically their cash cow now, and the other one's a legacy division, which is hardware. So like when you look at that, there's really only 2 growth areas, and so when Satya Nadella is talking to the investors and saying that, hey, gaming is part of our future now, while it was a nothing burger before in 2017, it isn't now. And I think that's, you saw them buy the ZeniMax. You're probably going to, when you hearing Nadella talk to the investors, and Amy Hood too, who realizes they kind of messed up, she says, hey, we kind of goofed up not investing earlier. I would expect, this just kind of a prediction, just based on what he's saying. I would predict they're going to probably even buy other publishers. So when you say skin in the game, it all comes to me that doesn't really mean anything, because I could want to go fight a UFC fighter today and have my life depend on it. And that guy may not know who I am, but I'm going to lose that fight because he's got more of what it takes to win the fight. It really came down to investment. They did not invest before 2018. Now they are, and to Jabari and Code's point, and really everybody in the panel, yeah, like the results are not there, and the reason is it does take time, and really it takes 4 to 5 years. I mean, Code, like making AAA games is probably.
Yeah.
Probably a 4-year period. So right now what we're doing is we're still living through the end of that transition. And I'd say about a year from now, that's probably when people are going to see the difference. I wouldn't tell people that, you should wait or anything like that. That's, you should buy something when it matters to you. But at the same time, it is worth noting, that, probably come this year, you probably will start to see more investment in that. And then yes, the quality control is an issue. I think when you grow fast, there is a downside to that, whereas Sony has things very I used to work with business people, and one thing you always learn is when you grow really fast, there's a lot of risk, because you are disorganized, you don't have the controls that you have. And I think that's why Nadella's now realized that. He's like, if you heard him speak after when they bought ZeniMax, he's like, you know what, we just can't build studios you just can't wake up one day and say you're going to do that. He's realized that there's this process, and that's why publishers actually make sense, because they have all those quality controls, they have all that stuff kind of already in place, so you don't have to go do that again.
Okay,
right?
OBM, let me chime in here. So there's a couple of things you said that I want to address, but I'll start at the end and work my way back.
Sure thing.
So the most recent thing you said is when you grow fast, you don't have the controls in place, which of course that's true. Yep. I don't think anyone would be stupid enough to dispute that. The problem is that Microsoft quality has been trashed well before they started growing. So their lack of quality isn't a symptom of them growing fast. Their lack of quality is a symptom of them just not understanding how to build video games.
Yeah, I know. And Code, I'm not disagreeing with you. There was a lot of, I'm sure you heard, there was a lot of leadership issues in Microsoft, even, before this whole growth thing. And, there's a lot of quality control issues. They just didn't invest, it costs money.
They did not invest. Absolutely.
No, they didn't invest in their tools. They didn't invest in their quality. They didn't invest in anything, really. Like they were keeping basically the bare minimum. They knew that Halo and Gears and Forza would turn profits if they just pumped them out, and they didn't even really take care of those franchises. So there's no disagreement there. The thing is, one day overnight they decided they want to be in gaming, and it takes time to now build that, because it wasn't just an overnight thing that got there. It was really 10 years of kind of basically you saw them start tearing down studios when they went under Windows. Back under the 360, you saw that when they started closing down FASA, and some really good studios, the ones that made Halo Wars. They had some really good studios under them. And they started to leaning out. They said, hey, we're just, they basically looked at trying to treat it like a mature company that you're just going to maximize the profits, and it really, you can't do that, and they didn't have gaming people in place. So right now, like, everything you're saying is true. The quality controls still needs work, and there's a lot of other things that do need to be improved. I think even Xbox Gamer, I've said that, I said that's probably their two biggest weaknesses right now is not going to be talent. They have enough talent now, and they have enough
management.
Yeah, it's
okay,
going to be the call. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
So then the second thing that I want to address that you said, and I think we talked about it before on this show. So you are right in that Microsoft will be into gaming, but the thing is, it doesn't have to be console gaming. And so I definitely heard that the higher ups at Microsoft looked at Apple and how Apple Computer is third in the world in games revenue, and Apple doesn't make games. And so the gaming division of Apple is almost pure profit. Mm-hmm. They don't have to spend $100 million for a game, hope it sells. They don't have to do a bunch of stuff with servers and have 25 developers and none of this stuff. All of their stuff is on mobile app stores, and they make billions.
Yep.
And they don't spend any money. And that Microsoft, Microsoft looked at that model, and Microsoft is definitely interested in gaming, but not necessarily console gaming. And that's where Phil stepped in, and why I think that, like, all jokes aside, there's a certain amount of respect that I think he should get, because he was able to convince Microsoft leadership that we don't have to abandon console gaming. We can still make it work, but it doesn't have to be like mutually exclusive. We can move onto the phones, we can move onto devices, and keep the consoles and keep those AA, AAA game stuff going at the same time, where it's not one or the other. So you're right in that Microsoft is invested, and Microsoft is going to have gaming, but it doesn't have to be console gaming.
Yeah, no, I think you're actually everything you said there was actually 100% right. And that Apple, that's what they were kind of looking at before 2018. But now when you hear them talk, they are talking about IPs. They are going after the enthusiast. But to kind of piggyback on what you said, I think you're still correct in this. They don't need to lead console. Like, they want to win the cloud. They want to win the subscription. That's
the model. Yeah.
That is the model. They're fine if they are the number 2 in the console. They're fine if hey, they're
3. Like, sir, 3.
But I get where you're going. But like, even
don't jump the gun, OBM.
Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, you're right, 3. But to like Code's point, like you see them play really, really nice with Sony. They're not playing nice with Amazon and Google. Like, they want to cut their throats before they even get in to the cloud and and that stuff. Sony to them is not really a threat for what they're trying to do, because again, they could be. In fact, I would even argue with you that Sony actually being healthy is good for them in some markets. Like, some markets, they're not going to crack. Nobody in certain markets would even know what AAA mature gaming is unless Sony was there. So they can use them and say, hey, you got your Sony as your console. Now, why don't you use, Xbox as your Game Pass? Like, this Game Pass would be a nice, compliment off your TV, right? Like, that's like the things like if you look at like a lot of Nadella's philosophies, even when he moved Windows over to Apple, it's like, hey, I'd rather be everybody's second than be like somebody's, a smaller segment of the market's first, right? Like, he'd rather everybody touch it. So yeah, no, you're right. And Sony is going to prioritize the console. And if you're a traditional console gamer, they are going to lean really hard into what that traditional gamer wants. The thing I will say, though, is that you need content to drive subscriptions and cloud to where they're trying to drive it. So they're going to still, like I said, they're probably going to buy another publisher. They still have to have AAA. You need to have the Stranger Things, and you need to have those like those tentpole games to drive people to a subscription if you want it to hit 100 million or above, and that's what the goal still is. So.
And so then the other thing that I want to say to you, the last point that you made, so you said that they're investing, and the amount that they're investing demonstrates that they're serious. And of course, again, I think everyone has to agree with that. You don't spend billions of dollars on a whim. Like if you're spending billions of dollars, you're definitely very serious. Yeah. However, that does not negate the fact that they will write off that $7 billion and keep going and never bat an eye. The same thing with Mixer. They invested in Mixer. They were serious. It wasn't hitting the metrics that they wanted. They got rid of it. We can look at Zoom. We can look at any number of things that Microsoft has invested in. It is true that they will invest, but it is also true that when they see that investment, the ROI on it is not what they want. They will get rid of it. And you can't say that, well, because they invested, that means that it's going to stick around. I have every confidence that if things don't go the way they want, they will convert to mobile gaming, Apple Arcade equivalent, and be just as happy as they were, because it's actually less hassle than trying to build a console and build AAA games.
So no, you're correct about the fact that because they spent the money doesn't mean they won't get out, because we know they spent $7 billion in Nokia and closed down phones like a month later. So you're not wrong about it. The difference, I will say, and I think this is a really, really key difference, is again, you look at the structure. Gaming now is considered, for a big corporation, what you try to do.
Okay, OBM, let's do this, because I hear where you're going. But for me, to make sure that we're keeping it clear, let's use two different terms. Let's use console gaming if you want to talk about traditional console gaming, and just use the word gaming if you're talking about things the way Apple does it. Okay. So when you said just now, I forget the exact word you used, but you said something about like they're structured for gaming. What do you mean? What type of gaming?
Well, okay, so yeah, they are structured. It is gaming, and again, that is cloud and subscription is really what Nadella talks about. So yeah, so you're right there in terms of what that is. The thing is, what they believe is that when you can make AAA as accessible as what today's mobile games are, it changes that paradigm. It allows them to become a leader.
True. Agree.
Yes. One of the things that, if you listen to Nadella, one of the things he doesn't agree with or doesn't want to, he doesn't want to jump into the market and be like, me too. Like, hey, we're gonna jump in this market and make some money off of it because other people are already making money. He's like, we got to find an area that we're going to lead, or we're going to get out of it. So like that's where they found the niche. They believe they can lead on the subscription by making AAA gaming accessible. And if you look at like the trends in music and TV, and I know this is where like Enrique's kind of disagree with you, but one thing I will say is where you see the paradigms change is when the technology allows the content to become like higher quality content to become more accessible and more convenient. And so like their game plan, like when you talk about like, you're right, like they could eventually look at it and be like, this isn't working out, we're going to get out. But the roadmap for for them to figure that out is probably at a minimum 5 years from now, probably more like 10 years, because they're really kind of laying out a roadmap that's not going to be able to be fulfilled until like 5G is, at its top speeds that they advertise, which is probably, more like 7 years from now. So, like a lot of those things that they know they're not going to be able to fulfill a lot of these things. You buy a Bethesda who's making Skyrim, you're not going to see Elder Scrolls probably for 6 years or something like that. You're probably not going to see that until like 2026. So, a lot of these investments aren't even going to pay off until, for a long, long time. So as gamers, and again, like today's not a good time to really make a case for Xbox as somebody who values like AAA exclusives as the reason they're going to get something. But But at the same time, if somebody's in the system, I wouldn't expect that you're going to have the rug pulled out from them like in 2-3 years or in the middle of
Sure. But here's the thing. Here's the question. So I have 2 questions for you.
Sure.
I'm gonna ask them both at the same time, and then you answer them in the order you want to.
Sure.
Hey, go, first question. Rolling, hey, I gotta roll, guys. I'll catch you guys later.
Okay.
All right, see you, man.
All right. Later.
EJ.
All right, later.
So the first question is, do you think that there is a compelling reason to buy an Xbox Series X right now? And then the second question is, given all that you said, it still doesn't demonstrate why you think gaming is more vital to Microsoft than it is to Sony or Nintendo. So I want you to answer why you think they are have just as much skin in the game, or that company's survival depends on gaming output the same way that it does with Sony or Nintendo.
All right, so I'll start with the second one. I would actually not say that they have more skin in the game than well, in terms of if you look at it proportionally to Sony and Nintendo. What I would say is they're going to have more investment, right? So, but that's not that's 2 different ways of looking at it. If you're looking at to the health of them as a company, yeah, Microsoft could write off gaming and be fine. Sony couldn't, and Nintendo obviously would die. So no, I wouldn't make that argument. What me and Enrique were talking, what I was trying to say is that the skin, that proportion isn't necessarily the end all be all when if they're making the right commitment, if that makes sense, right? Like if they're investing the right amount of money and resources and prioritizing talent and starting to do the right things, giving the developers time and things like that, then skin in the game. It's not like you got Jim Ryan today, like standing over top of, Naughty Dog going like, like clapping, like, come on guys. It's like the itches are all around us. He's not doing that.
All right, fair enough.
So like that. So the motivation, I guess that's what I was trying to get at with that. So, but in terms of your other question, why should somebody get it? It just depends on their priority.
No, I didn't say why this comes to. So I said, in your mind, is there a compelling reason for a person to invest in Xbox Series X right now?
Right now, yeah, it depends on their priorities, though. So if you're
they gamers. What do you mean they priorities? They want to play games. What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, okay, well, let me explain.
Oh, okay. What do you think they want to do? Watch Netflix? What do you mean?
Code's like, I want to slap you back? No,
we're talking about a gaming console. Of course, they buying it to play games, sir.
Well, now, when I say priorities, different gamers have value things different. Like we like in our segment.
What is things? There's only one thing in this games. Gaming experiences, sir.
And there's thousands of games on both systems. So what I'm saying when I say priorities is that somebody may value.
What do you mean? There's no thousands of games on each system. I can keep my Xbox One S or my One X. You need to tell me how there's a compelling reason for me to go to Series X. And all those thousands of games you're talking about, I can play all that right now, sir.
So,
first of all, I want to say that I did not come in here to sell code on an Series X.
I just want you to say no. There's no compelling reason.
He's trying to steer you into the answer he wants to hear.
No, I just want him to say.
Here, let me just be honest.
5 years, when the investment pays off, and they've got games in 4 or 5 years, that'll be the time where gamers will have a reason to buy Series X. Yeah. And right now, he has to admit that if you get it now, it's either for a mid-gen refresh or you're waiting. Like those are the 2 choices.
No, I'll tell you. Like, I mean, if you're going to ask me what I like about it, I'll tell you in a minute. But first, I want to just preface this by saying I don't really give a shit what people's preferences are for systems. I'm not really. When I go on Twitter, I'm not trying to sell anybody on one system or another. At the end of the day, we're like, I hope whatever anybody picks.
OBM, I like you, but this really sounds like damage control right about now.
No,
You doing good right up to the end, man.
I'm telling you right now, I don't really.
Let him get his point out, Optimist, so that we can wrap up the show too, man.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you right now, like I don't care. I'll tell you what I like about it. It is that I already had a bunch of games that run better, and I can and Game Pass and like the instant resume thing together. To me, that's like a premium experience because of the way I play. I told Enrique I like a lot of indie games and things like that. I downloaded Valhalla and I uninstalled it after 10 hours. I got enough out of it. So, like when I say priorities, it's because not everybody looks at a game like that's a AAA open world and it's like that's what I gotta have. You were talking about it with your own family, and I'm just saying that so for somebody that likes what's on Game Pass or they already have the library, it is a better experience. If you prioritize exclusives, it's not there yet, and it's probably going to be at least a year, maybe towards the end of this year before you will see that. So if that's what you're getting at, then yes, I would tell you to hold up. I would tell Optimus Code that now is not the time for you to buy a Series X. How about that?
I just want to know: do you think gamers will get what they are looking for in the Series X? And you've answered.
Man, you just took this dude all the way through the.
Oh, that's all right, man.
Everything, man.
If you would have met my ex, who I was with for 14 years, you know that my skin right now is like made of armor. So Code can't do everything. I like Code, so I talk to Code.
Be married to ex-wife is like playing Dark Souls,
man.
Yeah,
wow.
You could just simplify that answer, man.
My ex was like playing Dark Souls at 15 frames per second.
Jesus. What were you saying, Jay?
I said he could have just simplified that answer right there. Xbox X is dog shit.
Oh, come on, Barry. Not like that, man. Not like that. Hey, you be messing, Barry.
I tell you no lies.
That you're being messy, man. That's messy.
No,
but you know what OBM does need, though? I will say this, Barry. He needs greatness. He doesn't have a PS5. I keep telling him. He needs greatness.
I totally. Forte knows I'm trading in my One X and my Pro, my PS Pro, as soon as they have stock in the digital. So,
there's a reason why I asked early in the podcast. What's the next big Xbox launch game? Y'all told me Halo Infinite. That is until fall. We are in January, people. That is dog shit. There is no questioning. There's no reasoning. There's no rationalization that's going on. The console is dog shit.
Barry, do you have an Xbox in your house, sir?
No, I do not.
You gonna play Halo on PC, right?
I most likely will try it on PC.
So we don't care about what you think. You're not buying an Xbox anyway.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying, and that's the biggest thing. That I think that's the one thing that kills me the most is like I would listen to a person that has a PlayStation that says the same exact thing that you said that actually has that system sitting in their house, but you don't even have even when that damn game does come out, that game could be fire, and you still not gonna buy an Xbox. You just gonna play it on PC.
Forte, what am I missing on the Series X?
But you're arguing a console thing, but you're still going to play the same game on PC. So that's my whole thing. Like if you're gonna have the argument about how the system has nothing that you want to play, you can have that argument when you're sitting there saying, "No, I have the system. There's nothing to play." But when that game does release,
whoa! You saying I have to get shot in the leg before I know I don't want to be shot in the leg?
That's exactly what he's saying.
What I'm saying is, if you're going to he's going to play. Like he's saying, there's no reason to get it. I asked, are you going to play Halo? He's going to play it on PC though. So why are we arguing about the system? Because it's not about the system for him. He just using the system.
If the system had multiple bangers other than Halo,
Listen,
if the system had multiple bangers other than Halo, maybe he would get.
He'll play it on. He look just like Slow Mo. He'll get it on PC because that's where all Xbox games are.
I had 3 Xbox Ones. People,
yeah, but Xbox. Okay, yeah, we all had. I
bought lies. I'm not doing that no more.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I don't need a.
You don't have to.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you're a PC gamer, I'd tell you not to.
That's what I'm telling you. That's the whole conversation that I'm saying. No matter what, his mind is set. Even like he said, he had 3 Xboxes at the beginning of the generation. He's not doing that again. This game, they could come out with 4 or 5 bangers on that system. They still have those games available for him to play on a PC. So there's no reason for him to even think about buying an Xbox.
But wait a minute, let's say that's true. Even if he doesn't think that he will buy an Xbox, he still loses the ability to say that there is no reason.
No. He doesn't lose the ability then. I'm just trying to clarify.
No. I'm saying no. Listen to me. I'm saying that if Xbox has 4 or 5 bangers, like you said, every person loses the ability to say that there isn't a reason to buy an Xbox because there is now.
Oh no, you lose the ability then. Yeah, you definitely lose the ability then.
Right, and so I think what Jay Barry is saying is if he buys it or not, he would stop saying that there is no reason to buy Xbox.
Oh yeah. If they had to get I just pointed out that the Medium came out in January. I asked, what's the next big Xbox game? We're talking about Halo Infinite. That is until fall.
It's gonna get pushed back.
That is a big gap between like the console is garbage, bro. I don't know what else to say.
See, I refuse to keep saying the console is garbage. The console's not garbage because I am enjoying the games that I want to play on it perfectly fine. I left a PC platform because those games were perfectly fine. It's garbage in your eyes because of first party. The system is perfectly fine. That's the thing that I try to fight with people over this. Stop trying to use the system saying the system is something when it's the people that is manufacturing the games on the system that can't do their job in a satisfactory way. It's nothing wrong with the system. That's the biggest thing.
There is something wrong with the system. It ain't got no games.
Okay, there are games on the system code. It just ain't no first party games on this.
Does Burger King sell burgers?
What do they always say?
Does Burger King sell burgers?
What do they always say in sports?
Hold on, Barry. Hold on real quick. Let B talk. Go ahead, B.
I'm just want to ask a question. Does Burger King sell burgers?
Yes.
Why ain't nobody ever in their line?
Because they ain't McDonald's.
They're garbage. They're garbage. It's regardless of how many burgers and Whoppers and chicken sandwiches they sell. Nobody messes with Burger King. That's the same thing. You could have if everything is mid there and nobody's in your line, it's the same exact thing.
Talk about it, B. Hey, we can end the podcast right there. Taco Boy, roll the credit.
Let me find somebody that likes Burger King burgers.
All right. Well,
no, he ain't lying. Even their breakfast night ain't nobody in line. I be fighting against him.
Somebody's buying Burger King burgers.
Burger sandwiches are pretty fire.
Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap up the show with the food talk. But all right,
just be happy Mooch ain't here.
Right. We say that.
Yeah, we've had like food analogies. Otherwise,
shout out to Mooch.
Yeah, big shout out to Mooch. Crossfire Friday. Check that out. Hold on real quick. Got to pay the bills. Kendrick Star with the $5 super chat. When did the first banger come out for PS4? What was the reason to buy a PS4 at launch? Why can't Series X get the same amount of time?
What?
No, that's a good point. That's a really good point. But he got to keep in mind, again, like I said earlier, when people buy new consoles, they get games now and the promise of games later. The launch lineup for PS4 was definitely weak, but it didn't take them 3 and 4 years before they actually started coming out with some. I mean, they had that little journey stuff, which I think was kind of.
I can ask you this, Code. When the PS4 launched, did it not have games to showcase what that console is capable of doing?
What, Knack?
Killzone, Resogun. These are the things that it was promoting with the voxels, and Knack was a GPU feat as far as what the character is to say. The game per se, people might not like it, but when it comes to the console came through, Killzone was a visual showcase. Like, yo,
Shadowfall was pretty good visual. Yeah,
actually, the Order 1886 was the best looking game that was out at that time.
You remember Infamous Second Son came out a couple of months right after the console. That comment with that dude say super chat, appreciate you supporting, but it's a wrong statement. It's completely wrong. It's not even the same league of what we're seeing right now. Xbox hasn't showed anything from their studios that has showcased what this console can do.
Hey, I'm gonna need you to lower your voice by 10 decibel. Don't be yelling at our show.
All right.
Enrique.
But that said, Kendrick's comment said, when did the first banger come out for PS4? And
he did say
although those games did,
I think Bloodborne was the first
PlayStation's hardware clearly were nowhere near being bangers.
Killzone was a launch game that banged. Infamous Second Son did like 2-point-something million in like a week.
Maybe go look at your
Infamous Second Son was good. I would consider
Second Son was good, but banger, was it that good? It wasn't that.
What do you mean? Like
bangers do we get a generation?
Like a critical success.
I think most people would agree that Bloodborne was the first banger on.
Yeah, I think
definitely.
I mean, we get a handful of bangers per generation. Like, let's stop all this nonsense, man.
It was like blood.
Yeah. B's right. Like we don't get it. We don't get bangers every year. I mean, that's
like we go through droughts. We could go to 2 or 3 years before we get like a banger. You know what I mean? Like bangers don't just be falling out the sky.
I don't know.
Well,
man.
on PlayStation they do be. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that.
I mean, as of recently,
I'm just playing, bro.
Well, we ain't gonna act like every year we get some banger game. A lot of years we get games that
people saying that Infamous ain't a banger. You cannot say that Sunset Overdrive is. I'm sorry.
All right. We're not gonna console word now, Barry. We're not gonna.
Sunset Overdrive is better than Infamous Second Son. I'm sorry.
All right. We're gonna table it. All right, we'll go ahead and wrap up BRAP. I want to give a big shout out to everyone in the live chat who joined us tonight. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the super chats as always. And big shout out to Eric Jackson, the king of influencers, had to leave us early. I want to give a big shout out to our guests this evening, OBM, One Bad Mother. OBM, let everyone know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. I stay out of all this console war nonsense. At One Bad Mother at mother_1. I also host a Halo podcast called You Had Me at Halo. It's a little bit of a newer podcast. But yeah, thanks for having me on. And you know what, Code? Next time I need to get on a little bit earlier with you. It was kind of fun, man. I liked you kind of grilling me there. It was kind of woke me up a little bit.
So yeah, he hit me up in the DMs, Taco Boy, and he's like, "I like podcast Code, but this Twitter Code, I don't like him, man. He got
It's like the Code's like the walking version of the Medium. You know the cool realities.
You said you're going to tell you. I guess you have to wait tonight.
Yeah, ain't no time. I have to tell you a different time, bro.
Yeah. But no, OBM, thanks for coming on. And Optimus Code, man, always a pleasure, man. You got to leave. You leave those people alone, man, on Twitter, man. I see what you're doing out there.
Man, keep doing God's work.
Oh my God.
Hey, y'all can find me on Twitter, but you might not really want to, especially if you're a greenie. And check me out on Sunday nights with Hard 8, Any Given Sunday live podcast.
Awesome. Optimus Code, always a pleasure, man. And greatness, Jay Bari. Dude, always a pleasure having you on, man. Appreciate it. Let everyone know where they can find you.
Yo, listen, man. Appreciate the invite, man. I got the best list on YouTube, and my words beat. Listen, I know it might hurt some of y'all, but it's the truth. That's all it is. Okay. But nah, man, you can find me JBari_ on Twitter, JBari on YouTube. What's Up PlayStation every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. It's a goodie, man. I'm gone. Deuces.
No doubt, man. And hit him with that PlayStation fragrance, man.
That PlayStation, you know the vibes.
Yeah. And then we got Forte, who is about to be rich. Forte. Yeah, Forte, man. You let everyone know they can find you. You guys, you and Slow Mo, gonna mix it up a little bit tomorrow night on DPS.
Yeah, he didn't say a lot today about it, so he's gonna probably accost me tomorrow for some reason. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to I actually asked him when he was asking for topic. I said, "So how much of this show is going to be dedicated to my burial?" He was like, "As much as we need to do." So,
wow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But your boy Forte don't hide, because I say what's on my mind and I mean what I say. But overall, great show. Super.
We'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, Slow-Mo does know how to get to me, so he might have something in store for me. But yeah, thanks to Jay Barry, homie. Thanks for coming through, man. Code as always. Thanks for coming through. Bad one, man. Just show up to my store one day. That's all I want you to do.
I think I'm going to show up this weekend. Actually,
just show up. Show up. I don't even think you're real. I don't think you really live in Michigan. So I need you to show up. And
I'll be there this weekend.
And for everybody else, DPS Podcast tomorrow on Slow-Mo Backslash channel. He'll give you all the information on that. And check me out on Gaming Forte everywhere, YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live. Make sure you go to the moon. And if you are holding positions in some of these very lucrative stocks, don't sell. I'm not your financial advisor. I am not your financial advisor. If you are holding some GME or some AMC, if you're holding some of those stock, hold at least until Friday, because Friday I think we all gonna see some pretty magical stuff. That's what
this is insider trading.
That's called insider trading. For
no, we ain't talking. Well, we don't. I don't know anything. I'm just saying. I just literally think like they're talking about regulations on this stuff, and you can't regulate the internet.
You know what's funny though? It's okay when Wall Street does it, right? When the hedge funds set the market. When the hedge funds basically
it's not okay.
No, it's not okay. But I'm saying, but no one's like
in their eyes is okay when they do it.
because they're doing it.
Yeah, they want to look. They basically are telling us like, hey, listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, if y'all got money in, don't pull out because listen. Pause first of all, but first listen.
That's what she said.
Yeah,
that's how he got 4 kids.
But for real, they are literally
exactly.
They are literally trying to force us.
Woo, real quick, Ashley Luca, the $5 super chat. Thank you, Luca.
The rich. Facts to her. That's exactly why you guys need to hold, because guess what? They sweating out there because people out here that ain't supposed to be getting this money, they out here getting that money right now. So if you holding, dog, you're doing God's work right now. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't be stupid with your money. I will say that. If you feel like you getting up there and it's getting a little, your knees is buckling, pull your money out. But make sure you leave this situation with more money than you went in with, because they basically giving it to you right now.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. B Money. Let me know they can find you, man. I'm coming for you, B. Don't worry, it's coming.
Hey, man. I'm out there on the streets, man. Like my man Forte said, I'm out there cleaning up. So. Put something in the bag, man. So that's where you'll find me. But same name everywhere, man. B Money 101.
All right, and then
4 a.m. baby. That's what I'm looking forward to. I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning to see all that craziness happening.
It's wild, man.
We eating good, man. We eating
good. Let's go.
I wish I would have bought stuff. I should have bought it when it was $17, and I was kind of like, nah, I'm not gonna buy it. It's games, and then all this. I'm like, what? But anyhow, my man, Slow-Mo, who was at Slow-Mo at what, 900p earlier. DPS podcast, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard tomorrow. What channel is it on, Slow-Mo?
It is on my channel, Slow-Mo Backslap. You can check that out on YouTube, of course. Come subscribe, come hang out with us. I won't be just going in on Forte tomorrow. That's not going to be the entire show. We got other topics to talk about.
It's usually going to be reserved for the first 30 minutes of it.
Maybe an hour. It depends. It depends on how much capping you do and how much backtracking you do on some of the things that you've said, sir. So it can go easy, or it can go hard.
Go easy. Let's go.
It's all up to you. But no, check us out then, and also this Saturday on Scumcast, 4 p.m. Eastern. So have a great time. I had a great time, so to speak, and y'all have a great night, man.
No doubt. Yes, everyone have a great night. We'll catch you next week again at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here on BRAP, and enjoy the week.
Eastern, not Eastern.
Standard Time.
You're about to get blocked from the show, man. All right, on that
Standard Time.
On that note, we are out, and we'll see you next week. Enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy gaming. Peace.
I got tools.